Hi, my name is Karen Whittemore. Thank you all for coming today. I am a nurse practitioner. I have been in practice for 25 years now. I started as a registered nurse back in 1992 and then graduated from the University of Utah with my master's in science of nursing in 1998. And in all of my years of practice, I have seen a lot of changes. I have seen things move from paper charting to everything being on computer, and I've seen a lot of changes in the way medicine is practiced as well. But I have never seen anything quite like the technology from LifeWave with the X39 patch. I want to share a story with you about my mother and her experience with the patches. She moved to Cedar City, Utah, where I live, back in November of 2021. She was doing well initially, but her health quickly declined and we weren't exactly sure what was going on. But one day I went to check up on her and she was so weak. I couldn't hardly understand anything she was saying unless I put my mouth right up to her ear. And she told me that she felt like she might die, that this was the end. We rushed her to the emergency room and they did all kinds of tests on her. The only thing that they could find is what looked like maybe a COVID pneumonia on the CT scan. She didn't have any coughing, no signs of pneumonia. She didn't come up positive for COVID and she didn't come up positive for the antibodies, but she was hydrated and given different medications and seemed like she was improving. Then a few days later, I came back and some neurological event had happened. She was stiff. And her hands were like somebody who had a stroke. They did CT scans, they did MRIs. They weren't able to find any evidence of any type of a stroke, but she was acting confused and demented, and they sent her home to die. So they sent her home on hospice. And she continued to have periods where she improved just a little bit and then just rapidly decline. There was one point when she was so bad that she was unable to communicate. Her eyes were all glassy and like nobody was home. She wasn't able to eat or drink anything. In fact, I had to lay her rigid body down and use a syringe to give her milk to try to get liquid and some protein into her. Luckily, she had a gag reflex enough that she was able to swallow that. Well, Christmas Day, it seemed like she was starting to turn the corner. And all of this time, I was putting patches like crazy on her. I used the X39 patch, plus I used the brain balance protocol using carnosine around her head, along with the glutathione and aeon. I was using everything in my toolkit that I knew how to do, plus the supplements and going to bed with her, sharing heart to heart. Christmas Day, it seemed like she was turning the corner and starting to do a little bit better. And then the next day, it seemed like, yeah, not so bad. And so I took this video of her to document her progress. I thought, I've got to start showing her progress. So this is some footage of what she was like the day after Christmas. Now, if you listen carefully, it takes her, I ask her to say hello, Mom, and it takes her a very long time. And if you listen, she says very faintly, hello, Mom. Let's see if it'll play. Doesn't look like it's playing very well, but you can see she's just in that form. But that was progress. That was progress. I was happy with that. And notice how white her hair is in this footage. Well, over time, we kept patching and we were able to bring her home. Say hello, Mom. It takes her a really, 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 really long time to respond.
Hello, Mom.
You see, hello, Mom. So she's not even processing at all. So then after patching, the following year, it was either late spring or early in the summer, we had her outside on a playground, and she was climbing a rock wall, and we decided to take some footage of it because that is such a contrast to what she was doing right here. So if we can show that next. It takes her a while to get up there, but she does. And she makes it all the way up to the top. Now, keep in mind, she is 85 years right now. And this last fall, she had another episode where she started having problems again with her memory, and was really struggling. And we used our patches and started doing the brain balance protocol, and we were using the X39 again. And again, she turned around. But yeah, I was so impressed and proud of her for being able to do what she can do. And now she's actually teaching astrology classes. So it doesn't matter if you believe in astrology or not. That, to me, that's like math. It's very complicated. It's very complex subject. And so to be able to teach other people that topic, it shows you what kind of progress you can make. And usually at this age, when something like this hits you, you just don't bounce back. It's just not quite the same. But Mom, I want you to come on over.
Yeah.
So I have my mother here with me today. Go ahead and say hi, Mom.
Oh, hi. I was going to say hi, Mom.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
I'm doing better and better all the time.
So yeah, we are really happy to have the patches and to be able to have Mom back. I honestly don't know if we would have been able to get Mom back without having the patches. So yay, yay. I'm so glad. Now, my question for you all is, have you been patched yet? I have been using the X39 patch now for about 3 years. And I mean, just imagine being able to elevate, activate, regenerate, and experience a level of health and vitality that you haven't experienced since your youth. Imagine having no pain, sleeping through the night, having more energy, and reversing aging. That is what we're talking about with this patch. So did you know that stem cells decline as we age? They do, and the fewer stem cells that you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. Hundreds of millions of people are experiencing symptoms of aging like myself. I'm 57 years old. And I was noticing that I was not sleeping so well at night. I would get up about every hour or two to pee. And of course, during the day, I wasn't thinking as clearly. I wasn't sleeping as well at night. And what really bothered me too is that I noticed that the tissue under my eyes was starting to get thinner, and my hairline was starting to recess along the sides. As we age, the stem cells in our body become less effective. By age 60, the stem cells in our body show very little activity, becoming slower and releasing less of the growth factors that are needed to repair our body. By the time we're in our mid-70s, we are showing almost no stem cell activity at all, and that's why older people have such a difficult time healing from injury. Now, before I get on too much further, LifeWave does have a disclaimer. LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any illness or disease or medical condition. And you always want to consult your medical care provider before you embark on any new healthcare program. So that being said, this is not healing anything. What this is doing is it's giving your body the tools it needs so that your body can make the repairs it needs to make. So how does the X39 work? Well, it's kind of like the holy grail of reverse aging. It's made of organic nanocrystals, and the LifeWave X39 patch elevates the peptide GHKCU, which stands for copper peptide, for the activation of stem cell activity. It is clinically proven to enhance overall health and vitality. So this is a form of frequency medicine. Albert Einstein in his day said that the future of medicine is frequency medicine, and this is a perfect example of that. So what that means, a great example is when you go out in the sun's light hits your skin with a specific frequency that signals your body to start producing vitamin D. The sun is not giving you vitamin D, it's telling your body to make vitamin D. And it's that same principle with how the patch works. The patch is giving you the signal to produce more copper peptide. So this is what the NIH, the National Institute of Health, a government website, has to say about the benefits of copper peptide for your health. This is copper peptide alone before we even start talking about the stem cell activation. They say that copper peptide stimulates blood vessels and nerve outgrowth and increases collagen and elastin for visible anti-aging. Copper peptide's ability to improve tissue repair has been demonstrated for skin, lung connective tissue, bony tissue, liver, and stomach lining. Copper peptide has also been found to possess powerful cell productive actions, such as multiple cancer activities, anti-cancer activities, and anti-inflammatory actions, as well as having anti-anxiety, anti-pain, and anti-aggression activities. So who came up with this? Well, our inventor, founder, and CEO is David Schmidt. He has over 130 US patents. He is a scientist and inventor. He's a two-time recipient of the Advanced Technology Award from the International Hall of Fame. How this first began is he was trying to help the government find a way for Navy SEALs to stay awake in a mini sub for 30 hours without using caffeine or other stimulants or harmful drugs. And he came up with the Energy Enhancer, which is LifeWave's first patch. When he came up with this, he realized, you know what, I've got something really golden here, and it shouldn't just be available to the US military. This should be something that everybody has access to around the world. So he developed the company LifeWave, and in the first year, it did over $17 million in sales. So this has been a company that has been in business for 20 years now. This was back in 2004, and now this is 2024, and we are going strong. And it wasn't until 2019 that he came up with the stem cell activation patch, the X39. So this is still very new. And if you're looking at this from a business perspective, LifeWave is a wonderful opportunity because it has unique products. They are exclusively patented. And you can't get a patent, by the way, unless you can prove the science. You can prove what you're trying to do. And in the patent, it says that it activates it, that it increases copper peptide, activating your stem cells. And we have studies that show within 7 days, you dramatically increase your levels of copper peptide. This has over 80 years or over 80 research and clinical studies behind it. Independent researchers and universities have studied these patches, and they're medical and scientific experts. So this is a scan that I really like. This is the brain of a 77-year-old female. Now there's a scale on the side that shows you the reddish color. The higher the color, the higher the voltage. So the first session, this was before she started the X39, and it is showing a very overactive, overstimulated brain. She's probably got some anxiety issues as well. After 3 weeks, you can see that the brain is much calmer. And after 6 weeks, it maintains that level of calmness. So when you consider that by your mid-70s, you almost have no stem cell activity going on at all, that she was able to respond and have this kind of an improvement, that's just a testament to how powerful these patches are. And I think that that's one of the things that's really helped my mother so much. So what are the benefits? What could you expect from using the X39? Well, in our clinical studies, we have shown rapid pain relief. It reduces inflammation. In fact, within 24 hours, there is a major reduction in inflammation, and inflammation is at the core of the majority of our disease processes. You know, heart disease, cancer, autoimmune disease, all of these have inflammation behind them. It supports wound healing. And those of you that popped in last week noticed a dramatic wound healing with an earlobe that was split in two that looked like it was put back together within a day. And within 30 days, you could tug on it and it was completely healed without plastic surgery, which the surgeons and the doctors were telling him he would need to have. It increases energy and vitality, mental clarity, enhances sports performance, faster recovery from exercise, and improved skin appearance. What I noticed is after 3 months, I started to notice plumpness under my eyes, which I loved that. I now I don't have the recession that I was having with my hairline. And I started sleeping through the night, which that to me is just golden. So what can you expect in your body? Well, within the first few days of using the X39, 4,000 genes begin to reset. That's a third of your genome. Within 6 weeks, we saw the example of the brain becoming more balanced. So decreased symptoms of PTSD, decreased symptoms of anxiety and depression. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased, decreases in wrinkle, hair growth increases in structural integrity of both your skeletal and your muscular systems. Within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. So this is based on a recent study where 14 out of 15 people lowered their vascular age by an average of 8 years after just 6 months of using the X39. So that is not anti-aging, that's age reversing. Heart disease is still a leading killer in all countries. So being able to take steps like this to reverse aging in our cardiovascular system, that is major, and that's something that we all need. So I love that this is a possibility for us, that we have access to such amazing technology. So where can you go if you want to learn more? We do have a website. It's called Your Team in Motion, yourteaminmotion.com. You might want to write this down. We do have testimonials on there. We've got information about the different products, and we've got information about the business. And if you are interested and feel like, hey, I want to hurry up and get started on something like this for my own health, then get back to the person who told you about this today and let them know, hey, I am interested in starting. There are different ways to be able to take advantage of the product without having to pay the retail price. The retail price is $150 for a month's supply. With becoming a preferred customer or a brand partner, it can bring down the price to $100 a month. There are 2 different options of the preferred customer, and there are a lot of different options with becoming a brand partner. And if you are the type of person that, hey, I want to be able to share this with other people, you may be more interested in becoming a brand partner. So I will leave it at that, but thank you all for joining us, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.